Hello there, this is Cookies, and today I've got turn 11 of what I've started calling Skids, which is same Kidzin, different salt. It's a game on Lucid server. And we're wrapping up expansion. And it looks like we've got one bump. We've got a straight up attack. And we've got another bump. So let's go ahead and dive in. This could be the start of a war, or it could be traded provinces. So we've got some turtle warriors going after tritons. Turtle warriors should take this. They've got a shield, they've got poison, just a better troop. And then we've got the Forest of Gila. Should be pretty easy for Mekone. A very elite group here. A couple of little bodyguards. Unfortunate these two, yeah, got flanked a little, but looks like it's going to turn out okay. Alright, 2 successes for Mekone. And we've got, I think, 4 battles from Mekone. Let's see if they get the quad expand. We'll look at just Mekone really quick. Bone Tribe. But he's brought mostly the bigger giants. I'm worried about the Effer a little bit. I think some of the Ecdromos could die, but I think he will win. This is going better than I thought. A couple of them are hurt. It went pretty well. He might have a couple of afflictions, but yeah, lossless. Very nice. In Eagle Reach, this is a Merc company. It's the wet ones with, I think, a squad of 5 Ecdromos. If any of them could fail, it could be this one, but I think they'll still succeed. These hoplite PDs don't tend to do too great. And he does have some elite troops leading the charge. As long as the wet ones don't run, they'll be in good shape. They are size 4 though, so that does prevent... I think that prevents these guys from waiting. Okay, hoplites retreat. Slinger shouldn't take too much. Nice. Morale held. They do have above average morale, but I've definitely had units with higher morale retreat just because they don't like getting hit by stuff. So that's a quad success for Mekone. And now I think we can go through in order. So we've got Xibalba next. Bunch of scorpions, some sun guides. This is a lot of, I'm just going to call them Berktids. I don't know. He's got just all sorts of stuff. He's got Sinos, he's got these woodsman blowpipes, which have a paralyzing poison. Alright, that worked out pretty well. Takes a little bit of attrition, but is otherwise in pretty good shape. And then we have the Lankan attack. Now this is a swamp. Was this a mistake? No? Alright, he's got a thug script. So it's not a site searcher that just wandered in. Kind of curious how that last set of attacks went. Damaged the shield. Got rid of a mirror image. Missed. Hit it. Wow. Killed the horse. With a 38 damage head hit. A huge attack roll of 15. A huge damage roll of 32 plus 5. And then hit the Vanhurst in the body with the gore for 16 points. Oof. Another really big attack roll. Well, damn. All right. And then we've got the Spires of Ascension. Got the Beryton Cat. Should be pretty easy. Mostly just light infantry. All right. And then we've got Marverni. Again with the combined party. Although, might be more needed here. It is a lot of heavy infantry. I still think the majority of the fighting is going to be done before the Pretender comes in. Alright. But then bumps with Berytos, and this is where the Pretender could come in. You've got the Hannibal Mercs. Okay. Hannibal has been defeated. Loses 13 noble warriors, 9 boar warriors, and 2 Marverni warriors. And then, let's see, we've got Helheim. These Helheim parties are far-ranging. Going after these horse tribe. Surf warriors doing what they do best, run away. Looks like he lost a mount. And yeah, 5 surf warriors. That's fine. Then we've got a couple more Lankan attacks. We've got Bara. Bunch of bear tribe. Here come the Palankashas. Doing Palankasha things. And then we've got Yellow Caves. Now, this fight was going to be more difficult if I remember. Yeah, we've got the Sinos, a few nature gems. This is a little bit larger party. You've got the Ganas and the Palankashas. Now, Ganas have 0 protection. They do have a shield. It's not the best shield. They mostly rely on being ethereal. Yeah, you can see a couple of them starting to drop. I think he used his... No. I was wondering if he used his nature gem. Got off one last vine arrow. As a reminder, the bless is quickness, blood surge, awe. Yeah. So pretty spooky. And loses 2 of the Ganas. Alright, not quite as bad on the Ghana losses as I thought. In a Miraidon, we got this rough fight party. Probably going to lose a couple of the Avites again on the heavy cavalry. Oh, maybe not. Rough fight stepped up just in time. Yeah. And this might be lossless. I don't think I saw anyone die. Yep, lossless. Very nice. In we already saw Eagle Reach. In God's Tomb, we have a double expand by Fomoria. I'm expecting next turn they'll try to triple expand if possible. They should almost have another party ready to go. Oh, they're chasing. I hate it when they chase. Okay, they get a quick route. A little bit more experience. Alright. In Winter Peaks. Oh. Oh no. Again, he still has a couple of mirror images. Oh, they get the route just in time. Ooh, that was close. Alright. Fomoria sneaks that one out there. With 0 casualties, but it was a lot closer than it looked. In Kratos, this should be pretty easy. Those fear auras coming in. Alright. And it looks like we've got a bump with Ulm. Let's see the impact of fear. Yeah, so they drop down to 10 morale. Sometimes 8 morale. Okay. Magic bonus and battle fright. That sucks. Magic bonus. Okay. They might kill 3 of these if they hold on to their morale. Two kills. These Mashushu are very expensive. One more kill. Everything else is archers and slingers. Some of the Enkidu are fleeing. This Prophet, if anyone wins it for Ulm, it's going to be this Prophet. Alright, very bloody affair. Steel Maidens have finally given up. They hung in there far longer than I thought they would. And we've got the Ulmish Prophet getting in there. Alright, so how are we looking on that? 24 Steel Maidens at 14 gold. Let me see. Plus 2 of the Shield Maidens at 13 gold. So that was 362 gold for Ulm that was lost. And it represents about a third of the force, but most of the melee component. And then for 9 times 29 plus 35 plus 16 times 12 then plus 450, and they might have lost more in the retreat. So lost over 900 gold at 938 gold, potentially more. Okay, and I'm back. Yeah. So that was a very lopsided contest in terms of results. So Ulm doing a very good job of trading with there. Ends up taking the province. It was pretty closely contested. We have no messages. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map. So here's the bump in Kratos. So Ulm does secure the Great Gold Mine. Ulm really needs these two. But even then, they're going to be pretty small. We really need to be recruiting up here. Try to get maybe this one. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, right? Yeah, 9 is pretty small. I think it's possible they could get up to 12. So still on the small end. It's going to be hard for them to get this. For expansion for, let's see, we're turn 11. Now on Ur's side, they still need to clear out their cap circle. They do have the mist-covered highlands here, which I believe has an event chain that will allow them to get Windmasters, which is pretty nice. But you have to suffer indie attacks. They have access to this lake and this one. And they do have an underwater component of their roster. So it'd be good if they got into one of them. I believe that underwater component has their only astral. So it's worth getting a few of these sages. They got blocked off from cave access. Oh, except here. Well, they got Lanka took the cave. So how are they doing? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, presumably 16. I think they're in good shape. They might even get this. Which, if I were TNG, maybe I would consider swapping Wastelands when they take it. because, yeah, that would just create a more stable border, I would think, rather than these two. Like, I don't know, like, kind of like pockets, I guess. I forget the word for it. They might not want to give up the Great Gold Mine, though, so they might be okay with it. Now, Xibalba has 4 here. Let's see, they'll have 3, 6, 7, 8. 8 in their caves. Up to 12. I don't think they're going to get this. So Xibalba's going to be kind of small. I think going here rather than here was a mistake. If they could have gone here. Maybe Lanka threatened them, though. But yeah, we're looking at a pretty small Xibalba. They're going to want to fight soon. Lanka still hasn't discovered all the land here, but they are discovering all the land over here. Unfortunately, this is kind of far away from their cap, and they're likely going to irritate some neighbors getting over here potentially. Hinnom might not want to see Lanka get over here. Marverni has not discovered all these Indies just yet. But they, yeah, they won the Berytos bump over here. Ideally, that Trinity might have been moving over here, but they also might have. I still think they would have won that bump. But hopefully that Trinity starts moving over really quickly, because there's definitely opportunities along this set of lakes. Sauromatia's done, I think, pretty well. They've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. Still some more room. So they could come out of this with around 20 provinces. Berytos, greedy Berytos. They've got a lake, so they'll get this eventually. They are going to want to clean up this pocket before Helheim just kind of gets in here. They do have a second fort up. Berytos finally finds the Great Gold Mine. So let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. The potential for 18, 19. They could get into the caves. Yeah, they could easily get 20. They've got throne access. It's the Throne of Fortune, which is pretty good. Especially when you're rocking Misfortune 2. Getting down to Misfortune 1 would be pretty good. I don't know how he avoids getting all the indie attacks of Misfortune 2 that I get. Then we've got, see, Tianchi. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. They've got a little room too. They might bump Fomoria for one of these. More importantly, they have a very solid claim on this throne, which again is the Steel Ovens Throne of the Artificer. What a combination. And they've got the Throne of Gaia up here, which they could also use. That would be quite the throne package if they got those, especially for TNG. A little bit more room to expand. TNG should be in pretty good shape. Cone's pretty large. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. They've had some bumps in the road. They probably don't want to bump this Hinnom stack for Gol Amrod. Hinnom might try to bully for that. But Mekone nevertheless has had pretty good expansion. They've had some bumps along the way, but they've definitely recovered nicely. And when it comes to player wars, I'm Hinnom, but I feel like if you're Hinnom, you're probably fighting Sauromatia or Berytos. There's an awkward kind of mountain range blocking off Fomoria. And there's these swamps. I mean, you could certainly fight Fomoria, but I think it's easier just to get to Sauromatia or Berytos. Fomoria still has some opportunities to expand. They're at 3, 6, 7, 8. No, 9. They're at 9 now. This party, I don't... Is he getting the giants? I don't think he'll be able to triple expand. This has elephants. He could try going for this in Florian. And that would be, I think, safe. I don't think anyone would bump him. This party could try going for Dardania. If he marches the next party into Shadowglade, there's some opportunities up here. Fomoria could recover this like pretty reasonably, get up to maybe 12 to 14 provinces. At least be viable. Let's take a look at her. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I think we already looked at her. Sauromatia is in pretty good shape. I think it makes sense for them. It looks like they've done negotiations with Mekone. Maybe they're happy with those borders, in which case they might. Who would I want to fight? Maybe Marverni? I guess there's still some independence around here. I guess these two. And up here. Okay. And then Helheim's pretty massive. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, I think 17? Yeah. Where does Helheim go next? They did get attacked by Lanka. That could have been part of a trade deal, though, because it's 2 away from Lanka's cap. So they might have negotiated that and left it at 1 PD. Seeing 6 PD across the board, 6 PD. This is the underwater province Mekone took. They do have exceptionally easy underwater indies, so Mekone could try to get at these 3. That would bump up their numbers. Throne of the First Age. MR +1. Throne of Chains. Blood Slaves. Breaking into Blood on Helheim could be fun. Because you could do... if you broke in enough to do Blood Rain, that would work very nicely with Helheim and their magic. 110 barbs. I have a feeling... Oh, sorry, that's my phone. I think there's a fair chance these barbs stick around for a little bit. Unless... Yeah, we don't... It's not a lot of archers. I feel like Ulm has to fight Berytos. To some extent. I can't see Ulm being okay with this border. There's still a little bit of expansion. There's this huge cave system right here. Which it would be huge for Fomoria to get into these caves. Wait. Was this like a teleporting cave? This is next to Fomoria. If we go here, then it's way over here between Berytos and Helheim. Yeah, that's like way up here. Okay. And then there's this one, which is also between in Berytos. So Berytos might also get down here. If the cat gets down here and expands through all of this, Berytos is going to have so much money. Okay. Oh, we've got our Wasteland Fort. So he's doing like a little fort box around Berytos. Now, the most important thing with a fort box is not letting people put you under siege, because they can quickly put all your forts under siege, but it does allow you to rapidly coalesce all your recruitment into an army. So I do like fort boxes. Especially if your troops don't need a ton of resources and recruitment points. Which Berytos needs some, but they don't need tons and tons. Misfortune 3, good grief. Alright. Yeah, this is shaping up to get pretty interesting. Berytos could end up being gigantic, especially if left alone. I think TNG has some very interesting throne possibilities. The potential for a war between Helheim and Lanka is very interesting, and I would think Helheim would want to start it sooner rather than later. I'm not sure who would Helheim also attack? Maybe TNG? But I can't imagine wanting to leave my back open to Lanka. I think Ulm has to fight someone soon. It's got to be either or Berytos, preferably as part of a coalition. I think Xibalba has to fight someone soon. I could very easily see Helheim and Xibalba splitting Lanka. And then I could also very easily again see Helheim rolling right into Xibalba. Or attempting to. Just trying to knock out blood powers. And then they'd have a new border with Hinnom, but what can you do? It does seem like we have like our blood power V. So you got Berytos, Hinnom, Xibalba, Lanka. If they're left alone, they probably will run over the lobby. I think Sauromatia is less so of a blood power. Let me take a look at Sauromatia. I think their blood hunters are just very expensive. 525. Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to be the same sort of blood power as someone else. Then we've got kind of like a row of scale stations. Or I guess like another sort of E, if you include TNG and Fomoria, or maybe a J, or a U. I think Helheim's in an excellent position. I think TNG is currently in an excellent position. I want to see if Mekone can hold on to what they've got. They have a lot of small borders, which I think will help them, but it could also hurt them for their own expansion. They could go for this throne, though. But yeah, I don't know. This all looks very fun, and I want to start getting into some player wars. So, very much anticipating what that'll bring. Anyways, I think I'll leave it off here, and yeah, I'll try to remember to check graphs next turn. The usual formal end of expansion, turn 12. So, anyways, hope everyone has a good one. Later, and bye.